Welcome back, everybody, to the New York Mets franchise. We're going to finish out the first season today. So we're going to get through the rest of September. I don't foresee us being in the playoffs. I know we're only like 3.5 games out, but I just don't think it's going to happen, obviously. Taking on the Phillies, we got 6 games against them, Braves a couple of times. You know, that's probably like 4 or 5, 6 losses. But we're going to get through the rest of the season, take a look at the final season statistics. But I want to get into a game real quick with Owen Casey, who we just acquired in that big trade from the Chicago Cubs. Big-time power hitter, 21 years old, 19 home runs so far in AAA. Could be a possibility next year he could be on the big league roster. He's definitely going to get the spring training invite, no doubt about it. And we'll see what that roster is going to look like, because this is going to be the offseason right here. We're going to, get into free agency. Everything's going to be. We're going to get ready for spring, but he will definitely get an invite. The thing is, do we bring in anybody through trade or free agency possibility? Is he, could he be there as the starter maybe in right field? Who knows? He definitely has the talent. As let's get into this a bit. See, it's raining a little bit, so I'm not sure how much the ball is actually going to carry. But right now you can see on the side there, he was the number 4 Major League Baseball prospect. That's at least where they have him there. As this one's hit deep into right field, but just runs out of room. Man, these minor league stadiums down here sometimes feel crazy. They just feel like it's like I'm playing an old school Ebbets Field. You just crush one to the center field and it just goes nowhere. There you go. That's ripped. That's going to stay fair, and that should be 2 for sure. But yeah, these fields and these walls, I mean, you really have to get a hold of one. I feel like sometimes depending on these, generated minor league stadiums, obviously, but some of these stadiums, man, it's crazy. I mean, I even think the first one that Casey had should have been gone, as this one's ripped as well, as that one is going to be caught. But yeah, I think maybe the first one, I mean, obviously if it's at Yankee Stadium, that is easily a home run. So 1 for 3 with the double, but we're seeing some pop off his bat, and here's another one. Circle change left over in the middle of the plate. It is hit well, and it's deep to the wall and caught. So you can see with the outs here, it's going to be a 1 for 4 game, at least a double. He has that pop. He has that power. So, that is a reason we bring him in. Obviously, when you trade away your best power hitter, one of the best power hitters in baseball, and Pete Alonso, you're going to have to get some power back. So the Double-A season is over. Let's take a look at the final stats here. So Lazar Montes, who we acquired in a trade, he's going to lead us with home runs with Ryan Clifford with 19. Good to see Clifford up there. And good to see the power from Clifford. And also the average is right there as well. Jet Williams, number 1 prospect, leads us with 72 ribbies. Jeremy Rodriguez cooled off. He was killing it. He definitely cooled off. Jet Williams also to 20 stolen bases, hit around 268, but he's losing some contact there. -3 on the contact. Discipline went up 11. Wow. So he is going up, but that's crazy that the contact went down a little bit. I know obviously hitting 268, but Rodriguez did cool down at the end of the season, but still a 280 average. Where Alex Ramirez led us with a 320 average. I know he only had 178 at bats, but he's got good fielding ability, good arm. He just has to work on the bat. But hey, when you're hitting 320, 374 on base, the bat looks like it's coming along. Clifford with an 855 OPS is going to lead us. Power looks like it's heading upwards against righties, goes down once against lefties. He's only 20 years old, and he's probably the future first baseman of this team, no doubt about it. But still, I think he's a couple years away. I'd like to see more from Colin Houck. It is improving. A lot of stuff is going up. It's good to see, but still, I'd like to see at least an 800 OPS for sure. As for pitchers, Matt Allen led us with wins with 13. You got Blade Tidwell there with 11 and 6. He's up to a B potential, obviously looking pretty good. Look at Parker Messick, 10 and 2. ERA looking pretty good. I think he will probably get an invite as well, because right now our rotation is going to be the main thing we're going to be really looking at in the offseason. Kodai Senga is pretty much the one guy right now that's going to be, I would say, for sure in the rotation. There's no doubt about it. But everybody else, I have no idea what we're going to do. Man, when your top ERA is a 4.06, I mean, that's pretty good. Yeah, Messick, man, he's looking fantastic. He at least is gonna get a shot, I would think, at the major league roster with that stat or those stats, and at least go up to AAA easily. I mean, he is 23 years old, so I think we're gonna give him a shot. Lefty, so that's always a plus for sure. He'll get a shot. Nathan Lavender with the 47 saves. That's good to see. You got to develop those bullpen arms as well. Now, for me personally, you got to have bullpen arms, obviously, like I just said. But I don't mind having new top, starters that are going to be like a 4 or 5. Their career's not going to really go anywhere. And you know what? You just turn them into a bullpen arm and they dominate. So that's what I always look at as well. So the AAA season is now over. Let's take a look at these guys down in AAA. Hitting-wise, this wasn't the greatest lineup. We didn't have a lot of guys down here that, are top-of-the-line prospects. Obviously, we just acquired Owen Casey. He led us with 21 home runs, where he hit a lot of them for the Chicago affiliate. So and a lot of these stats are from Chicago. But down here, same thing. It's not a whole lot right now in AAA. I think coming up season, AAA could be a different story. I think we could have a lot of guys in AAA that are just a year or two away from making the big league roster, so it's going to be a little bit more interesting, I think, down here in AAA. This year was AA more than likely. Pitching-wise, really, it's, Ben Brown, who we just acquired in that deal with Chicago, and then you also got Charlie Soto. Now, Soto goes 4-3 with a 2.74 ERA, 1.12 WHIP. Now, he obviously, we got in a trade as well, another guy acquired in that Brooks Lee deal. He dominated AA. He's dominating AAA. I know the record, but can't always look at record. But he's only 18 years old. A guy that I would, when guys are dominating, it doesn't matter, usually you just want to give them a chance. But I think he is not going to get the invite at all. I think Ben Brown will definitely get an invite at spring training and a chance to make the rotation. But Charlie Soto, I think we're just going to leave him down in AAA, and if he's dominating all year in AAA, he will definitely get a shot, even at 18. But you can see right now our top 20 prospects: Jet Williams still number 1, Owen Casey at 2, Montez at 3, Rodriguez 4, Clifford at 5. But Luis Angel Acuna, Drew Gilbert, these are guys that really have a clear shot to make the major league roster this year. Like I said, we have to go through free agency. I'm going to tell you right now, this is still the New York Mets. We're not just going to sit back and not spend any money, not go after guys. As we can look at the top 100 prospects, as Jet Williams right there at number 2. We're still going to go out and we're going to try to acquire some guys. No doubt about it. Now, am I going to go crazy and spend, $200, $300, $400 million like this Mets team did a few years ago? No, we're not doing that, but I have no problems going out and spending money where this New York team, you still got to try to put up a winner, and I think right now we've acquired enough young talent to where we can put a few guys, get that infusion into the major league roster, and then you get in some nice talent from free agency, and man, there you go. You might have a winning team, but we end up 74-88. Didn't think we were going to make the postseason anyway. It's amazing that we even got close. Really was. So let's look at the final major league stats. Jeff McNeil leads us at hits with 174. Nimmo Lindor, I mean, that's not really anything surprising. They are the top guys on this team. 32 home runs from Lindor leads us. Nimmo with 23. And as you can see, the power is why, like a guy like Owen Casey, why we acquired him. We need more power on this team. I mean, obviously, you lose your top power guy in a trade, but that's, but we're going to have to keep getting the power for sure and develop guys, and I think we'll have that. Lindor leads us in stolen bases. Bader there with 25 as well. Nimmo with the 283 average leads the team. Brooks Lee ended up with a 269 average, 313 on base, and I think he's going to have a, great, really, second season. Ronnie Mauricio, I'm very obviously interested in him as well. And that's why I think spring training is going to be, interesting to see who's going to make this team. It really is. We have a lot of young guys with talent. Lindor, the 6.4 WAR. Bader with a 2.1. Now, Bader, he has that high WAR is because of the fielding. He is an unbelievable fielder. Only one error right now, 276 putouts. So he has a chance to possibly, with that 997 fielding percentage, to probably win a Gold Glove. I would think so. And that is one thing I think sometimes you kind of lose, is the fielding ability. I mean, it makes such a big deal. Like Brooksley, 8 errors. That's not really what I want to see, especially a guy that didn't play the entire season. So hopefully the fielding can improve. As Kodai Senga is going to lead us with wins, with 13 wins on the season. Sean Manaea ended up 5-5. You can see with a 4.1 ERA. He improved so much to where we obviously did not trade him. He has one more year left on his deal. I think he has a chance to make the rotation next year. We're going to have that competition, but a guy that we thought for sure was just done, possibly going to trade. I mean, his ERA, I think, was above 6 at one point. Really pitched well at the end of the season. So that is good to see. But guys like Severino, Jose Buto did not pitch very well. I think these guys are just not, they're not going to be on the roster at all next year. I think we got to revamp the bullpen as well. I mean, you could see these ERAs, these whips, not very good at all. It's just not good. I mean, he ended up being the second best WAR on the team pitching-wise. So that's how much of improvement Manaea really went through. But look at all those negative WARs. I mean, this pitching staff just needs rebuild. It really does. Final standings, though, the Rays win that division. Yankees and Blue Jays also make the playoffs. They are wild cards. Red Sox and Orioles miss out on the playoffs. Twins win that division easily by 23 games. I mean, they had pretty much clinched up in September. And the Astros win that division with the defending champs a chance to defend the Rangers playoffs. So there's your wild card teams: Yankees, Blue Jays, and Rangers, with the Angels just missing out by 2 and the Tigers missing out by 4. So good season for Detroit there. Philadelphia wins the division. Atlanta a wild card, and the Marlins do make it. They will be a wild card. We finished dead last in the division. Cubs win that easily over 14 games of the Brewers. And then the Dodgers, best team in baseball, 18-game lead over the Padres, who do make it in. So the Diamondbacks do not make it back to the playoffs. They miss out by 2 games. Brewers right there miss out by 2 games. So the D-backs miss out. We were the 5th worst team in the National League. So I think it's going to put us maybe at a top 10 pick. We'll see. But here's the brackets. You got the Yankees, Blue Jays. You got the Astros and Rangers, Braves, Padres, Cubs, Marlins. Who's going to advance? We'll see here shortly. But let's go over some league leaders. Freddie Freeman wins the batting title there. Home runs, Ohtani with 43. Schwarber right there with 42. Now, Ohtani, there's not much I can really do about him trying to make sure he didn't pitch. I mean, obviously, he's not going to pitch this year in real life. Not much I can really do. I mean, I think in the game, you can't really do anything about that. So Ohtani did pitch. He did get 17 wins, but just one of those things you can't really do anything about. Diaz with 46 saves just misses out by 1. Zach Gallen's going to lead in ERA. Ohtani led in strikeouts. So Zach Wheeler there, and Corbin Carroll with the 8 WAR. Let's see, Lindor the 6.4. So at least we had a top 10 guy, which I think Lindor should do that for sure. AL, you got looks like I thought for sure a tie there with the average, but no. Let's go to home runs. Aaron Judge with 54. Pete Alonso ended up 48. It's going to be interesting to see if the Twins re-sign him. So and it's so funny because it's like you could just go after him once again and bring him back, but we're not going to do that. Over 21 wins. Aaron Savale with 21 wins. So you got a couple 20-game winners there. P. Fairbanks leads and saves with 52. Verlander, ERA. Skubal with 223 strikeouts leads there. And Ward's going to be George Kirby with a 5.9. And then batting, Judge with a 9.3. He led everybody there. So it ends up being the Yankees and Phillies in the World Series. Yankees take 4 out of 6 from Tampa. Same thing with Philadelphia against the Dodgers. So you got the Yankees, Phillies goes to game 7, and the Yankees win the final 2 games. They win game 6 and 7 to win the World Series. The Yankees have finally got another title. It has been so long since they've won. What has it been, since like 2002, 2001? Man, Yankees finally back. Freddie Freeman's going to win the MVP of the National League. Cy Young, Ohtani. I was hoping he wouldn't, obviously, but not, like I said, what are you going to do? Yeah. Rookie of the Year, Yamamoto, that's easy. I mean, he was the All-Star Game starter, and he's just ridiculous. So, yeah, he wins the Rookie of the Year. Gold Glove. I don't think Lindor. I still think Bader could win one. And he does. So Harrison Bader gets a Gold Glove. So I had a feeling he could possibly be. As for Silver Slugger, I don't think we're going to have anybody either. Lindor finished third in shortstop. Yeah, nothing. And let's see. Let's go to AL. Aaron Judge. Yeah, he's going to be your AL MVP. Aaron Savale is going to be your American League Cy Young winner. Julian wins your bat. 331, man. He just killed it this year. Rookie of the Year, Colt Keith. As for, we'll just go quickly here through the Gold Gloves. Tucker Rodriguez. Silver Slugger, Alonso did win a Silver Slugger. Judge, Trout, Rodriguez, that really isn't much of a surprise there. Postseason MVP was Aaron Judge. So, there you go. Yankees win the World Series in season number 1. So, they'll be the defending champs going into 2. Puts a little pressure on us, right? You know, you got that crosstown rival winning the World Series. I mean, the probably pretty much the greatest franchise in sports history. You can't really deny it, whether you hate them or not. I mean, the history of the Yankees is just ridiculous. So let's take a look at some guys retiring. Anybody big, really? You know, seeing some obviously players that you obviously would know, but just not seeing a bunch of... I'm just going to scroll through this because I doubt there's really anybody there worthy. Yeah. Let's just go through there. There's your retirement. Nothing crazy. Actually, no inductees into the Hall of Fame. Okay. Well, nothing there. So we got exclusive free agent negotiations. And then we got some staff. I think we're going to have to hire a pitching coach. But more than likely, I think we're going to make a change at our manager position. Get a new manager in here. Probably get a new hitting coach as well. Those negatives, not good. First base coach looks pretty good. Just the one feeling, 2 durability and control. I'm fine keeping them for right now, but I think manager and hitting coach. Let's just get that new staff in. So I think the first year we're going to try is Paco Figueroa. Somewhere around $17.5 million over 3 years. I mean, 3 reaction, 1 speed, 2 contact, 1 control. Doesn't even have a negative anything. So, I mean, I think it's going to be tough to get him. We'll see. And we'll go Michael Cohen, +3 contact. Has -2 drag bunting, which I could care less about. 1 plate discipline, 1 plate vision. There for hitting. And coaching, we're going to try pitching. Dell Puckett, 1 break, 1 home run per 9, 1 walk per 9, and 2 hits per 9. So he has no negatives either. So hopefully we can get those 3. And let's take a look at the exclusive negotiations for any of these guys. Now, I'm looking at this list here. Bader, I would like to bring back, for sure. So I think we can just try to make an offer. I'm not going to tender anything because I'm not paying Harrison Bader like crazy amounts of money. If we could maybe just get like a 2-year deal done with him, that would be fine. I mean, fielding alone is why he is like, you know, you can take the 240 average. He's got some speed, but man, when you can field, you know, out there, anything out of the center, you're good. That's worth it for sure. Luis Severino. No plans on bringing him back. Just no. I'm good. It was a guy we probably should have traded, but I just didn't think we were going to get anything for him. Now, Adrian Hauser, he was 6-6. With a 3.97 ERA, 1.34 whip. You know, not a high strikeout guy. He did tear his rotator cuff. He was pitching solid. You know what? Let's try to just bring him back on a 1-year deal. If he's like your number 4 or 5 starter, I think I'm fine with that. So we're going to offer him a 1-year deal. Drew Smith out of the bullpen. 2.61 ERA. 11 holds on the season. With a 1.05 whip. I have no problems bringing back Drew Smith either. A lot of these relievers, yeah, bullpen arms are so finicky. They could have a great year and then next year just fall off a cliff. So you have to be real careful with relievers. That's why I always like to bring in new relievers year after year, because this is what happens. Yeah, we're not bringing it. Yeah. Navarre's probably not. Gamble, no. Diekman, no. Wendell, no, probably. So I think that's it for the exclusive negotiations. Cohen accepts the hitting coach deal, so that's cool. Sim through here. Paco Figueroa, he is no longer interested, so he will not be our manager. So now we got to try to get a new deal here. So Hershtick, let's see. He's got +3 discipline, 2 plate vision, +3 in arm strength. Del Puckett accepts our pitching coach offer. And now we pretty much get to, free agency. Selecting that 40-man roster, salary arbitration, tendering contracts. The free agency looks pretty stacked for sure. So Bader, Hauser, and Smith have not agreed yet to that deals. So arbitration. Now, obviously, so you could try to work out a deal with any of these guys. And then you can also offer them arbitration. You can offer them what you think is a fair value. If it is not accepted, it goes to an arbiter, and then they either side with the player, which they think their value is, or the team. But best bet is you always want to try to avoid arbitration. When you get a contract done, whether it be just a one-year deal, you always want to avoid arbitration. But let me hear this year, this is going to be very easy, because there's a lot of these guys I have no desire to bring back. I think Brooks Raley, like I said, one-year deal, maybe around $5 million. He'll do 5.1. Now, I'll still, I think, put up that. What's his arbitration? $5 million. I mean, it's the same deal. It's the same. We'll put it up there. That way, it's like guaranteed he's probably going to take it. But Adams, no. Taylor, no. Phil Bickford, nah. I'm skipping on that one. Trace Thompson, I'm not going to offer him up. I don't think so. 34 years old, hit 193 with a 297 on base after last year at 163, and pretty much the same. No, that's a pass. Yeah, Sulcer, Voigt, Tonkin, Reed Foley, Lucchese, we're skipping. This team has got to have more infusion of talent, and it's just not. That's not what we want. Now, as for renewable contracts, this is I would say a tedious thing, because you got to go through all the minor leaguers. It's easy. You just offer up the one-year deal. They're going to renew. So I don't even show that. No reason to go through it. So we're not going to do that. Now, looking through this roster before we get to free agency. Now, pitching-wise, like I said, Ben Brown, I think Parker Messick, we're going to give a chance. Charlie Soto, I think, is going to stay. But the rotation, there's Derek Yeager, our not our first pick. He was a second-round pick. We actually signed him. But guys like this, you can see the rotation. I think we're going to have to sign at least 2 to 3 guys. Probably a backup catcher for sure. Bullpen, we already know we're going to have to bring in probably 4 bullpen arms. First base, you got McNeil, Brooks Lee, but maybe a backup first baseman. Mauricio, I think, could be a backup infielder, get some play. Brett Beatty, he should probably make the major league roster. You could probably still look at an infield guy if it's the right fit. As for outfield, Nimmo, yeah, we might need somebody in the outfield as well, because I don't know if Bader's going to hopefully be brought back. Right now, we got $106 million in available budget, so we can spend the money, obviously. But yeah, if Bader's back, that puts him at center. You probably just need a right fielder. So speaking of right field, you got Juan Soto. Now, could offer him a big deal, but I just don't want to do that. Pete Alonso, so Twins offering him a deal. Trying to look. Starting pitchers, you got Corbin Burns, Orioles up there. Obviously, they're trying to retain him after acquiring him this year. He was 12-12 with a 4.14 ERA, 1.36 WHIP. I mean, he would be a no doubt top of the line starter. Got Shane Bieber, who the qualifying offer was made, so I don't always like to go after those guys, because if they just accept that qualifying offer, that's it. It doesn't matter. Max Fried had a little bit of a down year, but still, it's really probably better than really anything we got. You got Walker Buehler. He's only 30. 4-4 this year with a 3.86 ERA, 1.33 WHIP. He only pitched 67 and 2/3 innings. Nick Pivetta, Jordan Montgomery. I wouldn't mind taking a couple of these guys. Here's John Means. There's Jose Quintana. So he hits free agency. Mike Soroka. You know what? I think we're going to offer Walker Buehler a contract. You know, I don't mind the 5 years. That'll put him at 35 years old. And then the last part, you can probably just, you know, if it's not working out, you can always more than likely trade him. So that's not that bad of a deal. And then Max Fried getting 43 over 4 years from the Braves. Doesn't like it. And I think we can beat that out. If we offer him 50, one last year, offer him that ace role, that's going to put us well and above. And we take him away from a division opponent. We get him. So that could work. Jorge Lopez, who we traded in that Cubs deal, you know what? I'm thinking about possibly bringing him back. If we could beat out the Cubs and bring him right back, that would be great to see. So, I mean, he has the contract interest. So we're going to try to bring back Jorge Lopez on a 2-year deal. I think, let's see, we got film time, Matt Stram. He did lose walks per 9 by a lot, but still a 3.0 ERA. He had 8 holds. You know what? Let's do it. It's a lefty out of the bullpen. 1-year deal, around $6 million. A lot of interest there, and same thing. You can take it away from a division opponent. So that's right there. That's a plus as well. Got Hector Neris. Craig Kimbrell's down there from the Orioles. Carl Edwards Jr. from the Cubs, right? Let's see. What did he have there? Or the Nationals. Cubs this year, yeah. 3.73 ERA. Once we get down more of the list here, I'm not really interested in a lot of these guys. Obviously, Drew Smith we're trying to bring back. So anybody else, maybe we can look at the closer position. Because some guys are listed as closer, but they're not really a closer. Now, Paul Sewald, Kenley Jansen, Matt Barnes. Now, Sewald actually wasn't not their closer this year. 16 holds. ERA up, WHIP up. Still Ks per 9 solid. You got Tanner Scott. Could be another guy you take away from the division opponent. But the thing is, Sewald does not have any offers. So, you know, right now we can try to give him like a 2-year deal, maybe $10 million. I mean, it's better than, like I said, it's better than any bullpen arm we have right now. First base, Pete Alonso. We're not going to offer that deal up. Gleyber Torres. Interesting. You got Brandon Drury as well. So Torres, you can see everything kind of going up. He had 26 home runs on the season, 279 average. Yeah, 459 slugging, 793 OPS. So OPS dropped a little bit. He's only 28 years old. That is a possibility. I wouldn't mind him at second. Brooks Lee at third. You got Lindor at short. That could really, you know... I know Acuna and Mauricio are there to possibly, you know, make the roster. But still, like I said, I want to win. And, you know, Alex Bregman sitting there, 37 home runs. You got Willy Adames. You could probably move him over to maybe to third base. Some interesting decisions going on here. Teoscar Hernandez out in left field. You got Verdugo, who we could not get out with New York. Anybody else on that list that, you know, obviously I don't see as a starter. Obviously, Bader we're trying to bring back. So he already has that deal up. Nobody else has offered him. And then you got Juan Soto with the Yankees. So you got Anthony Santander, Tyler O'Neill. And he dropped off a lot. Former Matt Conforto, Charlie Blackmon, who is dropping like crazy. Obviously getting up there with age. But you know what? Let's offer Gleyber Torres a deal. $70 million over 5 years to stay in New York. You're just coming across town over to the Mets. It would offer us, it'd be another big time player, I think. I think that could work out big time. So we're going to offer Torres a deal. And obviously we offered, let's see, still got Max Fried sitting there, Bader, Hauser, but I do not see. So there you go. Paul Sewald did sign. Walker Buehler signed. Stramus signed. That is awesome. Jorge Lopez signed. So we get 4 of those guys that we try to offer a deal on. Once again, please, why don't I see this? Why do I have to go in there? I want to see like a message pop up. Hey, these guys have signed. But, I mean, you just get no notifications. I still wish that. I know you get it for big-time players, but I still want to see it. We're going to offer Gary Sanchez a deal to be a backup catcher because that's the position we need. Jerkson, Profar, or Ramiel Tapia. Probably Profar just because he can play literally every position besides catcher. Just a 1-year deal. He'll probably be in the minors anyway, but he could make the big league squad. So we'll continue to sim through here. Hirschtick has accepted our deal as a manager. There you go. Matthew Hirschtick is our new manager. Let's go through. Anybody else sign? Gary Sanchez did sign. So Gary Sanchez did sign. He will be our backup catcher. There you go. So we're still looking at Torres, Max Fried, Drew Smith right now. Bader did sign his contract. 40-man roster set. And Gleyber Torres, welcome to the New York Mets. Here you go. So we got Torres at second, Lindor at short, more than likely Brooks Lee at third, and then Juan Soto is going to the Cubs for nearly $300 million. So Soto, 1 year, gets the Yankees a World Series title, and he's headed to the Cubs. The Nationals are interested in offering us a deal. So they got Jet Williams on the board for us, and James Wood. Ooh, this is an interesting deal. Big-time power guy. In reality, right now, I think he's a top 15 prospect in baseball versus our top prospect in our organization in Jet Williams. Normally, I'd say no, but this is interesting because Jet Williams he's behind so many guys. And outfield is a position, and we're going to make the deal. Big-time trade. Just kind of trading prospect for prospect in division as well. So the Nationals were like, hey, let's just do a deal. Why not? And you know what? We did it. So James Wood, welcome to the Mets organization. And with that, he has a chance to make the roster, I think. The Major League roster. We'll see. Pete Alonso has re-signed with the Twins. So I like that. That's cool. Max Fried, welcome to the Mets. So our rotation getting better. We got Fried. We got Walker Buehler. Theo Bar just signed a contract as well, so the bullpen is improving. This team is starting to look solid. It really is. As we got the draft lottery coming up. So right now we're projected to take pick number 8, and hopefully we can actually sign our top pick this year. So that is going to be a main key for me this season, as we'll end up being 9. So we dropped the spot. Rockies are going to have the top pick, White Sox, then Giants. Look at Cleveland, moved up 8 spots to 4. Jeez. So I'm going to make sure we can get a top-of-the-line draft pick, as Anthony Santander is going to go to New York, so he leaves Baltimore to go to New York. Corbin Burns is going to go to the Giants. 9-year, $132 million deal. And then we got to trade. Marcus Semien is going to the Jays for George Springer and Chad Dallas. Wow. Big trade there. Another trade, Ke'Bryan Hayes going from the Pirates to Seattle for Munoz and Colt Emerson. So trades going out. Willie Adames is going to sign with the Marlins, so we'll see him in division. As for, I didn't go through the Rule 5 draft because nothing happened. Brooks Rowley, he will come back. And you know what? That's going to end the offseason. I think we're poised here. I think we are. I think this is a playoff team. Looking at this rotation, Max Fried, Kodai Senga, Walker Buehler. We'll put Manaea right there at 4 and Hauser at 5. But we will have opportunities. We're going to have Ben Brown probably have a chance to make this Major League roster, possibly in the rotation. This bullpen looks fantastic. Parker Messick, I think, has a real chance to make it as well. So we'll give these guys opportunities here in spring training. But, man, I'm really happy with this whole pitching rotation, pitching in general. Lineup, same thing. Lindor, you got Torres. We'll probably move Bader away from there. But Bader, Nimmo, McNeil, Brooks Lee, Mauricio a chance to be a starter. James Wood has a chance to be the starter coming in for that big trade for Jeff. I mean, that is a massive trade. And then Alvarez at catcher. But you got Drew Gilbert. You got Luis Angel Acuna, Brett Beatty, Owen Casey. A lot of young infusion into this team with now like top of the line guys. So I think there's so much talent on this roster right now. Will we compete with the Phillies and Braves? Maybe. Possibility, but I think we have a chance to make the playoffs for sure. So I think it was a successful offseason. Let me know what you think down below. But that's going to do it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for all the support. I appreciate it. Hit that like button. Subscribe for more. And I will see you in the next one. You guys have a good one. Bye-bye.